My strategy is the 4 points. What do I like to do with the 4 points? Is very simple. Let's go ahead and start off right here. Okay, we're trying to identify a new high. All right, so while time's moving around for that, I'll explain everything else that I've done. All right, so what I like to do is I trade the 4 points is what I call it, and how it works is I like to stick to the most basic ever. So how do you identify if market's on an uptrend? Well, if market's creating higher highs and higher lows on an uptrend, if it's creating lower lows with lower highs, it's on a downtrend. Okay, so keeping it as simple as that, I keep the definitions very simple as well. So what I like to do is I like to use the 4 points to determine if I'm either going to be looking for short positions or long positions. All right. First thing I like to do is identify my points. What is a point? Right. Okay, so a point is when you get a candle such as this green candle that created the high of the day at 9:35 a.m. has to be engulfed by the next candle, or if it's not engulfed, any other red candle has to close below the opening of this green candle. And that's how I identify it as a point. So if you look, the open of the candle or the close of this green candle is marked up here, 597.62. So I look at the opening of this red candle, 597.62. They're both the same number, so I mark that as a high. I go into the settings and I make sure that it says 597.62. All right, and then I lock it in place. I like to draw the trend line from the opening or the close, the body of the candle, all the way to 1400. Why 1400? Because 1400 is when I clock out. I'm done trading for the day. I don't even bother looking at it anymore. All right, these are my hours of operations. So this trend line not only marks the high for me, but it also lets me know how much time I have left during my trading. All right. One of the great things about it too is I don't like to mark my highs with red because usually everybody, highs are green for me, lows are red for me. That's it. That's just the color coding scheme I chose to put with my strategy. All right. So now after I've identified the first point with my strategy, I need to identify 4 points. Okay. First thing that I actually like to do is I like to read my strategy. I got it laminated and I got everything good to go. All right. So my strategy, WGTA. What separates me from other traders is my willingness to wait even if it means missing the setup. There are 8 phases in here. Identify market direction. Identify 4 points. Mark trend line to COB, which is close of business. Set up dollar box. Spot potential entries. Confirm point by definition. Place stop loss at high or low point. Wait for price to enter the buy zone. The second step, I announce, grateful for spotting this entry. Let's execute. And this one has 3 phases. Enter 5 contracts at the close of the 5-minute candle. Move entry horizontal line at the close of the entry candle. Label stop loss, target price, and entry. Then the third phase is I announce, with trust in my strategy, remain stoic and execute only when my setup demands it. There are 2 phases in here. We got action candles and we got noise candles. Under action candles, we have a subcategory, letter A, which is when my stop loss is hit. That's an action candle. If a candle hits my stop loss, I'm forced to take an action, which is close my position. So that's what an action candle is. So once my stop loss is hit, I announce proud to execute where others hesitate. Let's spot another entry. B, 1 hour has elapsed from entry. I close my position. And C, target price reached. I announce my unwavering patience and discipline brought me to my target. Now we got the noise candles. This is the definition of what a noise candle is. These candles are simply market noise, have no assigned meaning, and test your patience, resolve, and integrity. What do I mean by they have no assigned meaning? It means that I personally have not assigned a meaning to these candles. Therefore, there is no reason for me to even worry about what those candles are or how many have showed up, because there is no assigned meaning for me. There is no action for me to do with those candles. So I just ignore them. All right. The last part is amazing, trade is successful. Now let's see how far we can go. I announced that after I hit my target price. And in this phase, there's only one. And I say set trailing stop loss to maximize gains. I don't like to close my positions once my target price is hit because I leave a lot of gains on the table. Instead of selling it, I simply move my stop loss up to my target price and I simply just chill. That way I can milk my profits. All right. Oh, but what if it goes and hits your stop loss? I was going to sell anyways. It doesn't matter. You see what I mean? Anyways, why like try to close and take profit with 3 contracts when I could just set my stop loss and let all contracts continue to move up? It just makes no sense to me. It always breaks my heart when I see people close positions and the market continues to go in their direction. And I'm always in the back of my mind, why do they simply not just move their stop loss to their target price so that way if price ever reverted back to their target price, they would sell it anyways? But whatever, that's neither here nor there. Everybody does what their heart can handle. You know what I mean? So anyways, so I identified the first point, which the first point, the high was 597.62. It was a high, so I marked it green. I then wait for a low, right? So I would be seeing the candles form like this, right? I only see these 2 red candles, all right? My definition of what a point is how this red candle has created a new low so far. I have to wait for that candle to be either engulfed by the next candle or another green candle at some point has to close higher than the opening of this red candle. All right. So this is not a low for me yet. All right. Since this green candle has not closed above the opening of that red candle, it is still not classified as a point yet. Still not a point. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Still nothing. Boom. We now see that we got a new low. Now we ignore this because we got a new low. And we follow the same definition. We wait for that candle to be engulfed. Still no. Boom. Got engulfed. This classifies as a point. All right. Now what do? I go right here and I mark the low. What is the low? I only focus on the bodies of the candles. I do not focus on the wicks. So it's closed at 595.13. So I go ahead, mark my trend line, 595.14. Wait a second. 595.13. My bad. Oh, 595.13. Oh, I thought that said 14. Yeah, okay, never mind. So anyways, so I mark this as red for the low, and then I push it all the way to 1400. All right, done. Next step, we wait for another high, because I can't enter a trade until I get 4 points minimum. All right, so we're waiting for another high to get created. So same definition, but reversed. I have to wait for a red candle to close below this green. Nope. Oh, now we got a new high, and at least this is a smaller candle, so it's going to be easier for it to be created as a point. Boom. Oh, nope, it went up higher, so now we have another candle. That candle now becomes the new definition of what our point is. All right, that red candle does not close, but the next candle does. See how it closes below this body? That means that identifies as a point. So I mark this as a point. I go to the high. The opening of this candle is 596.91. This one is 596.90. 596.91 is higher than 596.90, so I'll go ahead and mark 596.91. Boom, boom, marked it, pushed it all the way to 1400. All right, so now I have 3 points. I'm looking for a 4th point. See this red candle, same definition applies. Waiting for it, now it's a new low, so now we wait for that candle to become engulfed. Boom, becomes engulfed. That classifies as a point. Boom, marked it. It closed at 595.96. This one opened at 595.98. 98 is higher than 96, so I'll use 96 as my low. Boom, boom, mark it all the way to 1400. All right, there we go. Next step, we now have to, since this is classified as a downtrend, since we got 4 points, we got a high to a lower high to a higher low. Until price can go above this, we are only looking for, until price can close above the high of the day, which is 597.62, we are only looking for short positions. All right, this is how I identify that we are in line with market direction. Okay, so until that happens, I'm only looking for put positions. And if I'm only looking for put positions, it only makes sense to enter a trade if I'm at a high, right? So I have to look for a new high. So since this is our 4th point, we're now waiting for a new high to be established. What establishes it? If a green candle creates a high, we have to wait for that green candle to be engulfed. Boom. We now have this green candle that created the lower high engulfed by the second red candle, right? So now we mark this as the high. The next step is I get my dollar box method. What is a dollar box method? What is my dollar box? My dollar box is simply a 12 bar time frame from left to right. I use 13, and I'll explain that in a little bit why I use 13 bars on my dollar box, but I only trade 12. And it's a $1 price movement from up to down, right? So 595 14, 595 14. It changes when I do move it around, so I ensure that it's perfect once I place it. And since I'm only looking for put positions, I use 67 as my put position, and I use 33 as my long position. Why do I do that? Because I only want to assume a 33-cent loss and a 67-cent target price. However, once it hits my target price, I set a trailing stop loss. So it's like 67 is my guaranteed, but then I just let it continue to ride forward. All right. Now, the next thing is, since I'm looking for puts, I set this up for a put positions. So boom, 67. I ensure that it stays at 67. Boom. And now I move it over here. The next step of my strategy is to wait for price for a green candle to close in my buy zone, this 33-cent area. Since price did not do that, it created a new low. It voids this high. So now we move it out of the way and we wait for a new low to be established. We got a new low established right here, right? Now this is where I'm at with you guys. I was going through some difficulties with my webcam, but here we are. So we look for the close, which is 594.53. Then we get the opening, 594.51. 51 is higher or lower than 53. So I mark it there to there. What I like to do is lock it in place, make it a little thicker, and put it red. Thicker, better. Thick thighs save lives, you know? Anyways, so after I go ahead and mark 51, I ensure that 51 is my opening for this green candle. Boom, now I got the new low. Now we're going to look for a new high. By definition, this green candle created a new high. All right, so we have to mark the high, which is 595.19. Boom, mark it right here. 595. I think I said 15. Yep. 595. 19. 19. So we double tap. All right, locked in place. Boom. Make it a little thicker. Green for highs. All right. Now that we've done that, our next step is very simple. Move our dollar box method to the point. All right, this one gets me a little nervous just because, you see how this huge green candle is starting to engulf it. So, but it's part of my strategy. I have to trade it regardless because I've seen it actually go up and fucking straight up go down, right? So now at this point, what I like to do is get my little calculator to ensure, right? So what I'll do is I'll look at the close of this green candle, 595.19, minus my, or in this case, minus my stop loss, which is 33 cents, so 594.86. So I have to wait for price to close above 594.86. All right. It either has to close above that, but if it actually goes and closes above, creating a newer high, then this whole trade's voided and I have to wait for another high to be established. Ooh, actually, it created a low right here. Yeah, so we're not even trading this one. Dang, that sucks. Alright. Because I forgot this one created a low. So anyways, I guess the opening of this candle is 593.84. So 593.84. 593.84. Alright. Well, if this had been an entry, what I would have done at this point is, since this green candle closed here, I would have closed in my 5 contracts and waited for price to continue to push down. However, since it created a low, a newer low with this red candle that I almost just completely ignored, I have to wait for a new high to be established. So here we are. So let me go ahead and move this dollar box out the way. And now we just wait for a new high. Let's see what would have happened if I would have entered this trade. Because if I would have entered the trade, my dollar box would be like this, locked in place. And then I would have been right here where I close 594.96, 594.96, 594.96 plus 2033 equals 595.29. Go right here, make sure it says 29. Control A, C, boom. 94, boom. 95, boom. All right, and this is what I do to mark my target price and stops. And this is where I would be right now if I would have entered. Hey, Stuff, what's up, T-Rex? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Show them your bob and weave, cheese. Show them. Oh, Yo. You're all right, cheeser. I'm sorry. Let's see what you got, T-Rex. Come on. Everybody wants to see. Let's see if you can do it. All right, T-Rex. You ready? Oh, that would have hit you straight. Yeah, see, we don't like that, T-Rex. You're a good boy. What's up, Rip? You want some too? Come here, Rip. Come here, Rip. Let's see what you got, Rip. Let's see what you got. Watch out! Ooh. You're all right, Rippy Rip. You're all right. All right, let's see what I got. So we got a high. Good. Move out of the way. All right, so we got a low. We're now trying to see if we can get a high. All right. I guess we stand by. Boop, 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 boop. You see that? You see that, cheese? Come here. Cheese. All right, cool. Well, if this would actually close below 03, we get another high. I'm over here messing with my video recording. Check this. Boot. Boop. See what I mean? Who that cutie, right? Who's that guy, right? Hello? Hello? Alrighty then. Oh. We ain't looking for long positions until the candle can go all the way up here. All right. So we finally got another point. Hell yeah. Well, you never know. It could go back up within 15 minutes or 15 seconds. So, but I'll get it started. So this was closed at 58, open at 58. All right. All right, cool. We got a new point. Now let's see what's good with this. Okay. Now the good thing about this strategy is like even though it creates a low or a new high point or point by definition, which is a green candle that created a high, red that engulfed it and closed below it, is that if this green candle were to go above the high, it completely voids this. So it's like I don't even have to take it. So even though right now it's kind of like, dang, it's showing is going up. Do I really want to enter? That's irrelevant. It's my pattern has been identified, and that's all I care about. And the saving grace is a candle, which is exactly what it's doing right now. It's getting closer and closer to creating another high, right? So it's like I have 5 minutes for this candle to either create a new high, close here, or go down. If it closes here, I'm entering a short position. Why? Why am I entering a short position? Well, the overall market trend is down. That's why. And until price can close above the high, which is 597.62, this is still a downtrend. And I have 3 minutes. And so I could show everybody what I do. This is what I do. All right, well, I can only enter for 5 minutes. So I'm going to go get some water, stretch my legs, step outside for us, do whatever I want. I got 3 minutes left. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, come on, we got 20 seconds. All right, enter position. All right. Now let's see what's good. Hopefully this works out. Doesn't, it's whatever. So here we go. 595.52. 595.52 minus, no, plus 0.33 equals 595.85. 595.85. Control C. All right. Control V. 595. 94.85. 485, and then 595.52. 595.52. So we'll put you there. We'll grab you, turn you red for stop. Move you, turn you green. 594. 5. All right. Come on. Boom, 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 boom. Now we go to our regular chart. All right. And we'll see what happens. I always assume a $50 stop loss for all of my trades. So we're just going to see what happens. Hopefully this doesn't trigger that. And if it does, then it is what it is. Boop. Why did we enter? Because I identified as a point. Candle closed green. Entered. All right. Now let's see what happens. All right, now that I entered, I say grateful for spotting this entry. Let's execute. I entered my contracts. I moved my entry horizontal line to the close of the entry candle, which was right here, which is what this represents. And then I labeled my stop, labeled my target price, and labeled my entry. Now I announce, with trust in my strategy, I remain stoic and execute only when my setup demands it. That's it. Now I only got 3 action candles. Either it hits my stop loss, hits my 1 hour time limit, or hits my target price where I then set a trailing stop loss. And then what I like to do once it starts moving in my direction, because I don't want to give up any of my profits, what I'll do is I'll come over here and I'll simply move this upwards to break even, which is usually at a 54. That way, I'm always break even when I get out of a trade. And if it continues to go, well, then it continues to go in my direction. And then that's it. All right. And then I believe the options contract was like a 6 cent transaction fee. So I just put it up to 4. I think that'd be good enough for me. That way I leave enough room for it to breathe. That way I don't, close my position too early. Because obviously that can happen. But we don't know, obviously, what direction it'll be. I like to give it enough breathing room. So hopefully it continues to go downwards. And if it doesn't, regardless, I'm not going to lose anything. And then what I like to do is as soon as it hits my target price, 85, I'll set whatever this number is as my trailing stop loss. And the reason why I don't trail it up either is because I don't want price to wick it and then close my position when I could have gotten more. Go down to 85 for me really quick. Let me see what the transaction fee was for this. $0.06. So I'll move it to 8 for 6 cents. That way I don't lose nothing. All right, now I am officially out of the trade. Well, I'm not out of the trade, but I have no risk. Boom, 85. So we got to set you to 81, but I'll set you to 78. That way we give you a little bit of breathing room, and then we'll trail you by 10 cents. So the high is 87. So actually, well, there's that. Well, that was it for the day. Well, no, not even. I still got more time left. I got all this right here. So it looks like I'm going to chill here for the next 20 minutes. All right. Well, that was easy. Did all that waiting. Finally found a setup. I entered here, took 8 minutes for it to hit my target. I was going to continue it to keep going, but I messed up. I didn't have enough time to drop it. Well, next time. Oh, we'll get them next time. Oh, yeah. And then what I like to do is I afterwards will come over here. And I'll mark it on my board. I executed a trade. It was a win, and it hit my target price. I mark here if I deviated anything. So if I would have enter the trade off emotions or just not my strategy at all. Bam. And then my running count, which is now 5. Bam. Cool. Oh, that's that. We got it called easy money. And since I don't really think I'm going to end up being able to find another trade, I'm just going to go into my back testing screen because it's bigger. And then I got Quebec for the next 20 minutes. Oh yeah, let me screenshot this. I like to screenshot these. All right. So we got a low. We got a low. Close at 79. 78 is smaller. Bam, 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 bam. Red. Right. It looks like that's going to be it for the day. Because even if I wait, there's not going to be another setup for me to enter. Alright, well, I'll go ahead and just end the video. Oh.